Hi, thanks for joining us for Dublin Today. I'm Stacy Brooks here in the studio on the set with Miss Marie Townsend and Anna Stone. Two of our great ladies here in the community do a very noble job, I believe. I'm going to give them just a moment to introduce themselves and tell a little bit about themselves and what organization they're representing today.
Hey, thanks Stacy for having us on your show. My name is Marie Townsend and I work for TLC CASA. CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocate. We advocate for abused and neglected children that are in foster care. We're appointed by the juvenile court judge to be their eyes, ears, and voice.
Awesome. And you guys do a tremendous job here in the community. We do appreciate you very much. And so, Anna, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
I'm Anna Stone. I work with Lawrence County DFACS. I'm the resource development caseworker. We recruit and retain the foster homes in Lawrence County for our foster children.
So Anna, if there's someone in the community that may be interested in fostering or adoption, is there a process they go through? Is there a number they could call, or can you kind of walk us through that process?
There's a number through the state office, and they send down your name and your contact information, and somebody local will contact you. That number is 1-877-210-KIDS.
Okay, so when you call that number and someone locally reaches out to you, what then is the process if you determine, okay, I really want to help out? I know we have a lot of children here in Dublin, Lawrence County. Sometimes we forget what great a need there really is in our area for foster families, for foster homes. So what is the process after that? When somebody calls you, is there some classes or exactly what has to happen then?
To start off, you come to an information session at your local DFACS office. We have at least one a month. And for there you do go to the impact classes. Okay,
and so is that a series of classes they go to and things like that?
It is. It's a total of 24 hours, and there's different setups that we do to try to accommodate as many people as we can.
Awesome. So after that, I understand then there's just a good bit of paperwork, because of course you want to make sure that you really vet these families. You're putting children that come out of not so great situations into their home. So it's not like you just show up one day and say, hey, I want to foster, and you put a child in there. So it's a process then that takes some time.
And it's a lengthy process. There is a lot of paperwork that the foster parent is required to fill out. There's a home study that the resource development case manager writes on the home. So it is, people get frustrated at times, but it is a lengthy process. But we just have to make sure that our children are safe.
Are safe, right? Because I know, I would assume first and foremost is the safety of these children.
Most definitely.
Right. So I know oftentimes I mention on our show about the need for foster families and for foster homes here in Dublin, Lawrence County. Can you give us about an estimate about how many children on any given day? I know it probably fluctuates, but just so that our viewers know just what a need there is here in our county.
We have about 150 in care in Lawrence County. We operate regionally. We are part of Region 9, which is 18 counties, and normally we have between 200 and 300 in Region 9 as a whole, and right now we have over 600. So
wow.
It is just, we have a great need right now.
Great need.
Yes.
So if you are at home and watching and you have ever considered fostering or adoption, of course you want to call that 1-800 number, and we'll be sure to get that up on the screen for our viewers so they'll have that number. So that's a great place to start. If they're interested at all, call that 1-800 number, and that'll sort of get the process started for them.
Yes.
Okay, and then we'll go back to you, Miss Marie. I know that you guys are busy, because when you have that many children in foster care, for those who don't know, I'm going to let you tell a bit about your Visitation Center and what you guys do there.
Our Visitation Center is, they do supervise the visits, and they report back to the court, because the court is asking them to supervise the visits to make sure that the kids are safe and that the parents are bonding with the children, and they just make sure that they have a good relationship with their family.
Because the goal, I'm sure, for foster care, I know we all hear horror stories, or we hear, people would say it's this and that, but the goal is always to reunify a child with their family. That's correct?
That is correct. But my part is not the visitation, it's the advocacy where we advocate for the child. So we are appointed by the judge to advocate for what is in the best interest of the child.
So you literally at CASA are the voice. You're not necessarily a voice for defects. You're a voice for those children
Exactly.
specifically.
Yes, ma'am.
So you are their advocate because many of them have no voice, and we've seen that in the past. So that is why you are there, and I understand that you need volunteers as well. Can you tell us a bit about that process if they're interested in volunteering with CASA?
Yes, our organization is based on volunteer-driven base, and so we train volunteers to advocate for the children. As long as you're 21 years of age and do not have any criminal background, defects background, you are able to advocate for a child. We also do a screening process for them. We put them through a training. It's about a 40-hour training. A lot of it is online. It's a flex training that takes anywhere from 5 to 6 weeks. Then it's 5 to 6 weeks in person while you're doing the flex training, where you come together as a group, and then 10 hours of courtroom observation. While they're in the courtroom, they get to see what is going on in a case and to see the different cases that they may be involved in. But our goal also is to reunify these children with their family if all possible.
If all possible. So we appreciate the job that you guys do. You both play a very intricate role. Even though they're different, you work together. And so I think this is very commendable. We're going to talk a little bit more about those things when we come back. And we're also going to talk about some needs that we might have coming up into the holidays. Stay tuned, and we'll be back after this commercial break.
%0 financing, and we'll just add it to your bill. Start saving today. It only makes sense. The City of Dublin Natural Gas.
It's easy to score a great deal at Dublin Nissan.
The fully loaded Rogue Sport is as low as $25,252.
Call, click, or come see us. Dublin Nissan, the only dealer you will ever need.
Welcome back. Thanks again for joining us for Dublin Today. I'm Stacey Brooks here in the studio with Miss Marie Townsend from TLC CASA and Anna Stone, and they've been telling us some things, maybe some needs they have, telling us a little bit about what they do. Of course, Anna has shared with us that if you're interested in becoming a foster family or foster parent, there's a 1-800 and 1-877 number. We'll make sure to keep that up on the screen for you if you're interested in that, because there really is a great need, I understand, here in Dublin and Lawrence County for foster families. You know, sadly, we don't live in a perfect world. In a perfect world, we wouldn't need agencies like this. So we are very fortunate to have both of you here, especially TLC CASA. I know it's coming up the holidays, and with 150, children right here in Dublin, Lawrence County in foster care, I understand that it falls back on TLC CASA to help with Christmas for those children. So could you tell us a little bit about what you guys do during the holidays, different things you do for them, and maybe some things that you need that our viewers might be able to help out with?
Well, we partner with DFACS. We help them out with their needs with Christmas to make sure the children get Christmas. And what we do is we get wish lists out to the children via their caseworker, and then we get sponsors for the children. And it is a wish list, but it is a wish list that a normal child would have. And we hopefully be able to accommodate that wish list through our sponsors. And we have some really great sponsors here in Lawrence County that help our children. And we ask them to just take the wish list, and if they can't do all the wish lists, that is fine, we understand. Or either if they would like to do a monetary donation, and we go shop for the children. But on the list is 4 things. Something they need, something they want, something they would like to really need. Something they want, something they need, something new to wear, and something they would like to have. Just 4 things that they put on their wish list, and then we get it out to these great sponsors, and then we hopefully be able to give the children smiles on Christmas morning.
Awesome. So if you would like to be a sponsor, I understand sometimes it's a family. Maybe your family would like to sponsor a child, or maybe a church, maybe your church community, your church family would like to sponsor a child. So it's not necessarily that one person has to do it all. It can be a group or an organization, or it can be a family to sponsor one or more children. I'm sure you'd be happy if they took more than one. So
it makes our job a lot easier.
A lot easier. So sometimes we forget, and I know we are all, our community, I say this pretty much every show, it's like a broken record. Dublin Lawrence County is really great about coming together when there is a time of need. It doesn't matter if it's people we know and or someone we don't. So for foster children or hurricane victims coming through, our community is amazing at coming together to get things done, and we do it quickly. So I'm confident that our community and our viewers will be able to help you guys with that. We were talking during the break a little bit about the fact that this could very well be the only Christmas some of these children get. We forget that, that we're dealing with children who come out of, if they were in perfect circumstances, we wouldn't have to have you guys. So this could be the only Christmas they get, and we want to make sure that we make that Christmas as memorable and as happy as possible. So on average, is there a monetary amount on there for those, or does that vary? Can you give just what you need, or do you try to keep that around a certain amount?
If they want to give a monetary donation, it is whatever their heart feels that they would like to give. We don't ask for $1, $5, or $100. We leave it as what their heart can give, because everybody is on different budgets. On the wish list, we do try to break it down by age group as far as dollar amount, just to give them a guideline. Now, if they want to go above that guideline, that is perfectly fine. If they want to stay in that guideline, we understand that too.
Awesome. That's awesome, because everybody is different. So that was kind of what I wanted to get across to our viewers. There's no minimum or maximum that you can give to help these children. I know we have a lot of people who are on fixed incomes. We were over, Miss Marie Townsend was over as well with our Day of Caring yesterday with Heart of Georgia United Way, and talking about different people who come together. Whether you give $1, $5, $10, it's all, you're going to be able to see where it's used, and all the money that's given for these children goes strictly for their needs at Christmas.
Yes, ma'am. They are strictly for the needs for children in Lawrence County. Through our local DFACS is where we get their names, and a lot of these children, most of them, we are advocating for anyway. But yes, ma'am, we get the names, and we make sure every child in Lawrence County DFACS gets a Christmas.
Awesome. That is amazing. So, Anna, going back to you, can you tell us a little bit about how many foster families, just a rough estimate, are there in Lawrence County?
We have around 35 here in Lawrence County.
So, of course, you can take in one child or multiple children. Once it's my understanding, you have to be a licensed foster home. So that's why you go through that process to make sure you're able and capable to take care of these children. So if you have 30 to 35, but you have a lot more children than that.
Right.
So,
and we have a great need for homes that can take sibling groups. That is a need that we have here in Lawrence County. We have several, 5 and 6 sibling groups, and I know everybody can't take in that many children, but that is a need that we do have.
Because I'm sure with the adjustment of not being in the home, there is an adjustment time. So you want to keep those siblings together for stability purposes. So whether you're interested in taking one child or multiple children, there's a need then for both.
Most definitely.
That's amazing. I can't say enough how much we appreciate you guys. I've been, as most of my viewers know, I've been involved within the foster system for a good little while now, and I was just amazed coming in. I had absolutely no knowledge at all about what the foster system really was like, and after spending some time with you ladies and seeing how things really work, sometimes even you hear stories about, well, caseworkers this and caseworkers that. These guys do an amazing job. I want to give a quick shout out. I can't let the show go by without that, because there are so many rules and regulations, and you have so many children, and the job is to advocate for those children in their best interest. So I want to make sure I do give Lawrence County DFACS a shout out, because they do an amazing job. I know that, I know you guys are overworked and underpaid and that kind of thing. So I want to make sure that we give you a shout out for that and appreciate the job that you do, because our children are our future. And I want to make sure that our community knows that we really have a great system here in Dublin, Lawrence County. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
I'm Marcus Clements with Clements & King Insurance.
Are you on Medicare or about to go on Medicare? Clemens & King Insurance has all the answers to all that's available to you when you reach this age. Clemens & King Insurance for all your health and life insurance needs.
Get ready to think differently about college. At Oconee Fall Line Technical College, you can start locally and get hands-on training and be work-ready. So when you graduate, you'll leave with the skills and knowledge for a job. And with day, evening, and online classes, you can be on your way to a career in 2 years or less. OFTC, think differently about college. Visit us online and apply today.
Welcome back. Thanks again for joining us for Dublin Today. I'm Stacey Brooks here in the studio with Miss Marie Townsend and Miss Anna Stone. Appreciate you ladies taking out of your busy schedule. I know between work and home it does get a little hectic, so appreciate you taking time out today to talk with us a little bit about the needs for foster families and foster children here in Lawrence County. And we're going to recap a few things. Around 150 children on any given day just here in Dublin, Lawrence County are in foster care. And of course, Miss Marie Townsend talking a little bit about TLC CASA. They do advocate. They're the voice for these children who oftentimes do not have a voice. And then of course Anna talking about the ways that you really can help. So Anna, I just want you to recap a little bit about what it is that that process is like. Are there people who are eligible or aren't eligible for fostering? Kind of just give us a little breakdown of that.
Initially, you can call the 1-800 number through the state office. It's 1-877-210-KIDS, and that will, the state office will get in touch with somebody at the local level, and that person will contact the potential foster parent. We then invite you to an information session, and we kind of give an overview of the whole process. It's a very informal kind of thing where you can ask any questions you have to myself, and from there you go to the impact classes, which are the classes that certify you to be a foster parent, and they're 24 hours total. We do several different setups, but we try to accommodate as many people as we can.
Awesome. So I know you want to make sure these homes are safe for these children. And Miss Marie, I'm going to turn back to you for just a moment, because we always hear these black trash bag stories, and I want you to share a little bit of that with us. I know it's something you're passionate about, so I want you to share a little bit, because we're not talking about perfect circumstances. You know, sometimes conversations are hard, and when we're having community conversations about our children here in Dublin, Lawrence County, I really want our viewers to get a sense of what it's like for these children. Of course, we're talking about foster families, and there is a great need, but I really want you maybe just to draw that imagery, that picture for them of what it's like for these children when they are being removed from their home. It's a difficult situation, and it's not a pretty sight, but I think our viewers need to know exactly what it is you guys see on a daily basis, and ways that they may be able to help as a community to improve that.
Well, if you've ever watched a child being moved from a home, even from home to home, and they had to put all their belongings, what little it may be, in a black trash bag, or even a trash bag, or even a grocery bag. It's very sad, because they don't have anything that they can actually call theirs to move with them. A lot of times their stuff gets lost from move to move, or even when they're moving from their own home, and just something that makes it personal to them, that they can say, this is mine and it can go with me. We had a child that was moved to another home recently that our CASA was involved in helping them move, and she actually went out and bought them suitcases because they were going to have to move in a black trash bag, and that was her first experience of seeing that, and it's very sad, and it's very touching to see that they need something that is called their own. So some Christmases, and even if they want to do it year-round, if organizations want to take it upon themselves to do a new suitcase drive so these children can have something that they can call them their own, they can either do it through us or either through DFACS, and either one of us will make sure that these children get their own suitcase.
And we were talking about even pillows, that sometimes
Yes.
these things that we really take for granted. We're very fortunate and we're very blessed, and sometimes we take things for granted. We just assume everybody has their own pillow. These children don't have that.
Sometimes they don't.
You know, we assume they have their favorite teddy bear, they have their favorite blankie, and oftentimes that's the things that these children don't have, or that may get lost in transit from situations that you know they don't have. So there's always a need in our community. So if someone has something they'd like to donate, you know, suitcase wise, we talked about the plastic carrying things that can be, you know, personalized with their name. It's just very touching that something as what we would think is insignificant. It's just a suitcase. We probably have 5 or 6 at home, but for these children, it really means a lot to them. So if any of our viewers are watching and you feel so inclined to do that, give Miss Marie Townsend a call. We're going to put her information up on the screen as well. I'll let her give the number if she'd like to. She can use either our voicemail or the TLC CASA if you want to give that number.
It's 478-275-8100, extension 2, and that comes directly to me. And they can do that if they want to become a CASA volunteer, or if they want to help with Christmas, or if they want to help with just any needs that these children, they may want to help with these children with.
And we definitely appreciate it. And I want to stress again that Christmas is coming up, but there's also other holidays. There's birthdays. There's different things that again, I'm a mom, and we take things for granted. We just assume all children have experienced those things, and there's not. And I think there's nothing like seeing the joy in a child's face from experiencing a first, whether that may be a Happy Meal at McDonald's or their first Christmas. So if our community, I'm really reaching out to our community here in Dublin, Lawrence County to really come together. As she said, the numbers are increasing. I believe, Anna, you said usually it's about a few hundred for region-wise, and now you guys for this region are up to 600. That's a very sad statistic. That's an astronomical, you know, number. And of course, then we rely on our nonprofit organizations, our TLC CASAs and different things. That puts more responsibility on you. And of course, everybody has a budget.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody has a budget, and that budget doesn't necessarily expand just because there's more children there. So anything you can do to help out TLC CASA, I know that Miss Marie Townsend will be happy to talk with you. Anna, I really appreciate you coming on, and we'll keep that information up for those who are interested in fostering, and appreciate our community always coming together. And I really hope, Miss Marie, that the community really rallies around you guys, that you get more support than you can even use. I really hope that's something that happens this Christmas. And any closing remarks any of you want to say, or leave any numbers, anything like that, feel free to do that as well.
Well, if you would like to become a CASA volunteer, please give me a call. We need as many voices as we can for these children. You can call me at 478-275-8100, extension 2, or if you want to be a sponsor for Christmas, or just however you want to help, we would greatly appreciate it.
Awesome. And Anna, I appreciate you coming on too. I know you've talked a lot about the classes, and I hope you get an overwhelming experience from that too. And I can honestly say, anyone I've ever talked to who has either volunteered at CASA, who has fostered, you go in really thinking, I'm going to do this to help somebody, but you always feel more rewarded. At least that's been my experience. And with families I've talked to, they do this to help the children, but they end up being the ones who really feel rewarded for what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And especially Miss Marie, I know you guys have some awesome volunteers there at TLC CASA. And they're advocates. They're advocates for these children. They're the voice of these children who have no voice, and that's got to be a very difficult job considering what some of these families are going through. So I commend you, ladies. I appreciate you coming on. That's about all the time we have for today, and it is a great day in Dublin today.